welcome. Please let me know if you're excited to be here in the chat. We are on the virtual Apprentice going through everything to do with a paint party business. We have, I think, 84 questions that I'm going to be answering. And then if you have more questions, you can feel free to add those to the chat. My team is grabbing those questions and we'll answer those at the end. Okay, so this is kind of what we did. And what I'm going to do is just kind of go through a little bit about what the possibilities of paint parties. So you can do in-person paint parties like you see here. You can do canvas, wood, porch cleaners, ceramics, door hangers, online, in person, as well as like wine glasses. I've been seeing, I don't know if you've seen the TikTok trend of the couples doing paint parties and then painting each other. Let me know in the chat if you've seen those couples doing that. There's also really cool baby shower paint parties as well. Here's in person. We have online. How many of you are interested in doing online paint parties? They are so much fun. You can see here I was doing an online paint party with a bunch of students back in the fall. And then there are art kits. So you can see Bobby and Pixie in the bottom left, packing art kits like crazy. That's also another opportunity. Art kits. And then custom orders. So we have a member that is literally all she does. See the welcome porch sign over here? That's all she does is porch cleaners. It's awesome. She's made so much money for doing porch cleaners. All right, so the main reason I love sharing so much about this is because not only does art heal, but I'm so just tired of the starving artist mentality. So if you're kind of tired of that, please let me know, because that's the thing. I think once I kind of got out of that kind of victim mentality of the starving artist, it was like, oh, I can make money doing this. So let me know if that's you in the chat. So I want you to write down what you want to use your paint party money for. And if you feel like adding it to the chat, you can, but you don't have to, okay? So are you wanting to save up money and pay for Christmas without debt and maybe go on a cruise? That would be fun. By the way, we have a paint party headquarters cruise coming up, which I'm really excited about. And are you wanting to pay off student loans? Thanks for the house and a vacation for me and my mom. Rosalind, that's so sweet. Retire and replace some of my income with it. Yeah, so there's all kinds of things that you can do with making money with this, okay? So many different things. And then I want you to remember, I have said this a time or two, and I will say it a time or two again. There are people less qualified than you doing what you want to do. So you don't have to be the best in the business to make money doing this, okay? Yeah, Lori says medical debt, then savings, then my husband to not work 3 jobs. Oh my gosh, Lori, yeah, definitely make some money and kind of take some of that weight off. Right here is just a typical breakdown. So if you sell 10 tickets at $35 a person, you're looking at about $350. And then expenses, as we talked about, me and Pixie earlier this week talked all about how you don't have to have everything. You don't have to have your easels. You don't have to have all of that stuff. And then also, I want you to know you get to write off glitter. Isn't that the coolest thing? Like, I don't know about you, but being able to write off glitter is kind of the coolest thing ever. Okay, so I want to take just a second to share with you if that's okay. Let me know if it's okay, but it should only take just a couple of minutes. But I know some of y'all are new to me. Let me know if you're brand new to me this week with a 1. And let me know if we're already friends, we're already BFFs with a 2. So Denise is brand new. Awesome. Good, Lori. Jennifer, BFF. Yeah, if you're number 2, you know you're a BFF. Rosalind 1, Raquel 1. So we have a lot of new people. We went bankrupt over 10 years ago. Well, it's been about 15 years now. And so we went bankrupt, lost everything. And the way that we kind of bounced back was I started using art to heal. I ended up making these mini surfboards. And long story short, I took these mini surfboards and we ended up selling them at a place called Pier Park in Florida. So let me know if you've ever been to Panama City Beach in Florida. It's so beautiful. If you've never been there, put it on the notes. You should go. It's so pretty. It's about 30 minutes from Destin. And I ended up selling these surfboards, but before they sold, nobody was buying them. And I just thought it was the worst thing in the world. So what do you do when you've lost everything and you don't have a plan B and you've gone bankrupt? You You go to Buffalo Wild Wings and you have a drink. My mother-in-law said, oh, let's go to Buffalo Wild Wings. We're at the bar having a drink, and she knows I'm so upset because everything was riding on this. And here we are, like, we have a toddler and just, lost everything. We don't have our house. We're living in an apartment, and then I'm trying to have a plan B and it's not working. And so it sucked. It was bad. And so here I am, drink 2 in, like, what am I gonna do? Like, I don't, this is it. I don't know what else is left. Like, life sucks. Life is hard. I don't know what to do. And then Bobby called me and everything changed. He calls and he's like, Heidi, get over here. We have orders. And I'm like, you're lying. He's like, no, we have orders. Get over here. I look at my mother-in-law and she's like, go, go. And so I tipsily walk across the street, if I'm honest, and I look at Bobby, and he's got this like paper tickets like this, like these paper tickets, and he's holding them like this. And I was like, oh my gosh. And he looks at me and he's holding them out and he goes, get to painting, get to painting. And I'm like, and in that moment, like, y'all, I remember just being flat on my face, done for, thinking like, life is hard. I'm not even 30. I'm bankrupt. Like, who am I to be successful? Who am I to have anything good in life? Like, I had all these thoughts of just like shame and embarrassment and everything. And I felt like I was flat on the floor, done for. And then in that moment, with those tickets being held in front of me, it's like God scooped me up and said, not only is it going to be okay, but you're going to get to do what you love, which is paint. And so I went on painting that night, laughing and just, a little tipsy, but, painting and laughing. And we went on to sell over 1,000 hand-painted surfboards, which, for those of you that don't know me, I would finish one painting a year. I was the slowest painter in the world. And I had to figure it out because in 2 months' time, we painted over 1,000 hand-painted surfboards, and I would customize to whatever they wanted. So if they wanted a engagement thing, I'd be like, footprints in the sand. I mean, I did everything anybody wanted because I knew it was $20 towards my family's future. So that just changed everything for me. And it really showed me the power of entrepreneurship. And it also showed me the power of actually having an art business and not being a starving artist. So that was the start of it. And it was pretty crazy. So I wanted to show you those surfboards, and then you can see Pixie, how little she was. So that's when you can see her surfboard. She's just putting all black paint over it. I think that's the cutest picture. I love it so much. I wanted to show you this slide because look at my face up here. I am so freaking happy. This was in December, just a few months ago. I don't know what it is. When I get out of my own head and I'm in a paint party setting, it's like everything else goes away and I'm just focused on other people. So I want y'all to know that, like, if you do feel like you're stuck in that funk of just being, oh, this ain't gonna work or this ain't gonna work, all of that, just remember, like, when you start taking action, like, it is, and you can see it's pure joy on my face. And I want that for you. Okay, so guinea pig party. How many of you are nervous about actually teaching your first paint party? Do in the chat, do a 1 if you feel nervous. I want to see. And it's okay if you're nervous. I sometimes still get nervous. Raquel, Rosalind. Okay, let's see. April, Susan, Lori, 1 to put it lightly. Pixie made up a word. If you're in paint party headquarters, you'll know this word, nervitis. Like, you're nervous, but you're also excited. Like, if you're nervitis, maybe put a 3 in the chat. Let's see who's nervous, but also excited. I want to see who's the nervitis people. Because y'all are my people, definitely. Like, it's like so nervousness and also excitedness. And I just love it. I promise, once you get started, the nerves go away. So Denise, Lynn, Kiara, yes, I totally get it. I have been there. Jennifer says the greatest feeling. It is. It is such a great feeling. So what I recommend is, instead of putting all this pressure on yourself to try to do a party where you're getting paid, I recommend a guinea pig party or a practice party. So if you are nervous about asking people for money, how many of you artists are nervous about asking for money? I know there's more than one of us. I used to be the worst. I would trade everything. If you are nervous about asking for money, that is one of the things that you can do with a guinea pig party or a practice party, okay? That means you don't have to ask. You can just have a few people over around your dining room table or your art studio and just have them there. So if you are wanting to do a real party and get paid, screenshot this. This works really, really well. Okay, so an easy way to get started. Hi, we call it the magic script. Hi, my name is Heidi and I teach step-by-step paint parties. I would love to see about doing this at your restaurant, community center, whatever, on a slow night. Do you have time to talk this week? Okay, so screenshot that. I'm gonna give you 5 more seconds because it is gold. 5, screenshot, take a picture. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, awesome. And then here's a couple of people that I just wanted to show you so you know that it's not just me doing paint parties, but Dawn's 16 paint parties this month. Isn't that crazy? And then this one, we've had some great parties lately. I love doing this business with my husband. There's plenty opportunities for people to do this. Sarah just recently sold out 2 30-person parties with one of our hummingbirds, which is awesome. And then we have a sold out kids art camp. And then also all of these designs, another full class of 43 painters and 55 painters. Alexa, what's 55 times 35? $1,925. Y'all, that's some serious money. I don't care who you are. That's some serious money. Okay. And then right here, Monique, sometimes she has parties of over 100 people. This was a small party, but she talked about how, being able to talk to people, all of that is unmatched. Now, here's what I love so much about that is because small parties, you cannot discount small parties. Okay. Big things happen in small parties. You get connections, you have more time to talk to them and get to know them. Okay, so how many of y'all really struggle when you're booking the parties? And you can put a 1 in the chat if you struggle booking parties, if you struggle designing flyers, getting prepays, going live, any of these things, selling art kits, creating new paintings, time management, how to teach step-by-step, all of that stuff, okay? Social media. All right, so if you have any struggles with that, Jennifer, okay? So Jennifer, Donna, I was like, I know y'all are not the only ones. I'm really bad at creating graphics. That's why we make graphics in Paint Party Headquarters for y'all, because that's my struggle. I don't know if I do still have it. Oh my gosh. Look, y'all. So this is how bad I am at graphics. I keep this here so you know it is not just you. Are y'all ready for my beautiful graphic? When I did all of this by myself. Are y'all ready? Now, I've been doing this for, about 17 years now, basically the amount of time Pixie's been alive. Ready for my graphic? Are you ready? I feel like we need a drum roll. Drum roll, please. Heidi's graphic back in the day. Bam. Look at that beauty. Oh my, she is a graphic genius. Paint your pet, register today. Who would not want to come to that? Paint your pet. That is glorious. Like, I'm awful at it. I'm still that bad. I'm still pretty bad at it. So we have designers now, which I am so grateful for. Oh my gosh, so grateful. All right, so Paint Party Headquarters, this might be for you or it might not. Okay, there's no pressure here, but I definitely want to show you what it's about, because if this was created when I was first teaching paint parties, I would have in a heartbeat done this because it's so much easier. So basically inside Paint Party Headquarters, you get marketing, paintings, all of that, trainings on how to get butts and seats. Anybody struggle with getting butts and seats sometimes? All of that kind of stuff. Prepaid attendees, so you're ready and already paid before the party starts. Having paintings done for you, that is a huge time saver. That was one of my biggest headaches whenever I first started this, was trying to paint the paintings. Then I would show people the paintings and then they wouldn't like the painting and then I would repaint. It was just back and forth. It was awful. Having paintings and marketing done, having more fun and making a profit every party. And then every single month, so in Paint Party headquarters, we have over 3,000 members. We've been around almost 6 years. Next month will be our 6th-year birthday. And we have monthly on-trend paintings, marketing materials, marketing and social media, monthly live Q&As, over 3,000 supportive community business owners. How many of y'all have seen some nasty Facebook groups out there? This is not one of them. We don't allow it. I protect it with my life. We do not allow mean people in this group. It's just not what we're about. Member brainstorm and strategy sessions, prayer and gratitude meetings are optional. I know not everybody is a praying person, and that's okay. So, but we do have them optional on Zoom every single month. And to me, that's one of my highlights of this whole thing, is getting to pray with you and remember that God is in control of all of this. Okay, the next thing, which is really cool, is we worked out a deal with Deco Art. And so every single month you get a coupon code for 50% off of paints. So you go online, put the coupon code in, which we put it on our calendar every single month. We put the coupon code, and then you get to get 50% off of paints. All right. And then basically for Paint Party headquarters, it's $47 a month or $423 a year, and you get 3 months free. So that gets you access to the app, access to all of the trainings, every single thing you need. And then of course, access to all of my designs. We have hundreds of designs that you can grab and go, as well as the Facebook group, which has all the community. But some people, if you don't like the Facebook group, you can still do everything from the training, which is pretty cool. Okay, so if you want to join, we're giving 3 bonuses away with it. So you're going to get bonus number 1, the Backcountry Bear with all the marketing stuff. The magic scripts basically has 14 scripts that tell you exactly what to say and what to send to get a party booked, which, by the way, people think that's the hardest part. That is not the hardest part. And then the creative content prompt calendar. So if you've ever been not sure what to put on your social media, this basically walks you straight through. I remember when I was a teacher, and I was a teacher for 10 years. And so I was like 850 students a week. It was so much work. If you're a teacher, please, oh my gosh, please put it in the chat, because we need to send you a rest day. It is so much work, so much work. And I was a teacher for 10 years. And I just, I just remember like working all week and then having to go design my paintings, try to get them right, and then try to send that to the customer just to have them tell me, no, that's not what they're looking for. And so now that we have the lookbooks and we have all these materials created for you, I basically designed Paint Party headquarters for what I needed. So, so we do have, everything that you could possibly want in this membership. And then, yes, you can craft for a living, craft and paint, and you can choose your own hours based on when you want to teach paint parties. So like in the summertime, I used to do a ton of parties, and I would always do this one around July 4th. And so I started realizing like, hey, I'm going to go hard in the spring, go hard in the fall and at Christmas time. And then I like to take a break in January, and I like to take a couple of months in the summer. So you can kind of start to create your own schedule. So here's just a few of the many paintings we have. And I also utilize guest artists as well, because I know my style is not, exactly everybody's style. So we do utilize guest artists so that you have variety. And again, every time we're dropping, like for example, we're dropping all of our fall stuff in June. So then you have time to paint it, to get ready for it, because what I've learned as a business owner myself is I need my fall stuff in summertime, right? Like we got to be 2-3 months ahead of the seasons. If you think about Hobby Lobby, July, they've already got Christmas going, right? Like we have to be ready ahead of time. So what we try to do is our team works months and months ahead. So we're always like, Steph, I'm filming and I'm always taking your suggestions. And I'm honestly, y'all, like, you think I would have gone into this to be my own boss? I seriously look at it as like, you're my boss. That's how I honestly look at it. So anytime y'all have suggestions or whatever, if it's reasonable and we can handle it, we try to do it. And then flyers. This is so cool. Again, I showed you my Paint Your Pet flyer, which is so embarrassing. I showed that to you, so please give me grace with that. But now we have professional designers to where they create everything for us. So again, when I'm doing my paint party stuff, I literally just go to paint party headquarters, and I am still actively teaching paint parties to this day. I have a paint party on Tuesday. I have a paint party the next Saturday. So I'm constantly doing this and still have my finger on the pulse so I can make sure things need tweaked. This is working in the market. This is not working in the market. So I'm always trying to improve and be ready to help you. All right. And then when you sign up, you will get a copy of the lookbook printed. Okay. So this is perfect for booking it. I sent 2 of these home. I should have brought way more on Wednesday. I sent 2 of these home on Wednesday to book parties. Oh, yay. Kiara joined earlier today. Welcome. I'm so happy. That's awesome. Thank you for trusting us. And that's the thing. You can cancel anytime. Nobody's, being held hostage here. So you'll get the lookbook printed, mailed to you, and then you're going to get the magic script in your email. It's a downloadable. You'll get Backcountry Bear, and then you'll also get the creative content prompt calendar, and that's downloadable. Oh, Rosalind, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. That's awesome. All right, so that's the price. That's what it is. It's $47 a month, or you can commit to a year and say, hey, I'm going to do this, and then do the $423. And then the last thing I want to say before I answer questions. Okay, so this is us. This is us. We are so, so happy to welcome you in. We started doing these events together. We've done 4 years of this now. And so next January, which is coming up soon, we are doing a cruise. We're doing Paint Party Business Live cruise. And so I'm so excited. It's called Creatives at Sea. And so we have over 400 people already signed up out of our members. And so we're going to just take over the boat. And I'm just so excited. This is us. This is who we are. We're all about having fun. We're all about just being together. And yes, Lynn, you can absolutely sign up for the cruise. When you join Paint Party headquarters, there is a link. We are not taking any extra money on our side. So it's just what the cruise is charging. And then we have a code you can use that will make sure that you get to the events, and it lays it all out. But we call it Business and Besties. And it's so fun just to get to go to the Bahamas together. And I'm just so excited. I cannot wait. So excited to do this with y'all. Okay, so if you want to join, here's the link. You can join. If you want to save that, you can, or screenshot it, or however. And then questions. Okay, so excited. Okay, so we're going to do some questions here. Okay, let me take a deep breath. Okay, let's all take a deep breath. I'm feeling the pressure. One more deep breath. It's like when I know I got to do rapid fire, I get so nervous because I like to talk a lot. Okay. All right. So question number 1. All right. Victoria Charrington says, how to best organize, itemize for taxes. Review of how to make flyers in Canva, mostly techie admin stuff. Okay, Victoria, great question. So we use QuickBooks, and then we have one card that we use all for that. In the past, I did everything in a stack of receipts, and I don't recommend that. That's the old way. So just get it all and use one card for it. And then remember, you can write off glitter. You can also write this off, which is really cool. So part of your marketing expenses, part of that, all of the stuff that you get inside Paint Party headquarters is a write-off. So that's really cool too. And then review on how to make flyers in Canva, mostly techie admin stuff. So the great thing about Paint Party headquarters, we have one of our team members, her name's Allison. Every single month, she does a tech hub where she is on a Zoom for 30 minutes and she does a different subject every single month. So usually there's already a training out there that I have done and pre-recorded. And here's the cool thing. We have I'll do a live Q&A once a month. I do a peer-to-peer where on Tuesday at 11 a.m. we have a Zoom peer-to-peer. And this one is mindset related. So we'll be talking about mindset. Sometimes it's butts in the seat. Sometimes it's holiday promotions. Sometimes it's, get your fall stuff going, whatever that is. So I come together with a subject. Then I divide you out based on level. So if you are brand new and you've never taught a paint party, it's hard to to sit and have a conversation with somebody who's done 100+ paint parties. It's just a different conversation. So what we do now is you get to go to a Zoom room based on your skills, which is really cool. And so what's happening and what's really cool about that is you end up making friends, and accountability partners and all of that. And that is I feel like one of my greatest accomplishments when it comes to Paint Party Headquarters is when y'all post a picture of y'all have met for coffee, you have somebody in a town over. Like, that's one of my greatest accomplishments, is seeing y'all become friends without me even being in the picture. Like, that makes me so happy. And so it's just one of the biggest things that I'm so proud of. And so I just keep pushing. I feel like I'm the creative matchmaker. Like, I'm trying to help you find your new best creative friend. Like, I feel like that's part of my role here. And so I think it's really, really fun. Okay, question number 2. Heidi, where do you get your aprons? Deborah, I get them from apronsbythecase.com. Apronsbythecase.com. You can get them way cheaper on Amazon. Okay, Patty Axtell says, does PPHQ team provide pre-traced canvases? It didn't sound like it yet. I don't want to leave any question unasked in case someone is wondering too. Actually, Patty, we have Julie. She's a part of our team. Her and her husband run like a little sublimation business. And so that's where I get all my canvases. I order directly from her, and she has it set up to where all Paint Party Headquarter members can order canvases pre-sublimated for her. She also has a guest spot training inside Paint Party Headquarters where she teaches you how to sublimate. So her and her husband do that, and it is awesome. That's where I get all my canvases now. Okay, Gina asked, slowly getting excited to do this. Yay, Gina, I'm happy. When you spoke about other paint parties happening in town, that's exactly what I worried about, but they are way more expensive than I hope to be. My question is, how do people book and prepay, and do I need to build a website? No, you do not need to build a website. And I usually recommend charging around $35 a person. And then also, don't worry about other people, okay? There are several other paint party people in my town. And like I said, I have a paint party on Tuesday, a paint party on Saturday. It's okay. When you just put blinders on and focus on yourself and think about the bread aisle. There's a 1,000 different breads on the bread aisle, and they are all still in business. So we don't need every paint party to make this work. We just need a few. All right. So Susan says, how do you decide cost number of group? So Susan, I charge $35 a person. I usually have like at least the minimum of 6, but as high as they want to go. So my price is per person, but with my minimum. Again, that can be different for all of you. Like, again, I'm going to give you all the advice that, I wish I would have known, but you can tweak it. You might be like, Heidi's crazy, I ain't doing that. Or, I like this part of it, but I don't like that. That's totally fine. Rhonda says, Heidi, I was looking at Marketplace with Facebook. Do you pay to advertise on that platform, or is it free? Can you give a breakdown of the rules? So Facebook Marketplace is like the wild, wild west. Sometimes they allow you and sometimes they don't. I had some of my posts rejected a few weeks ago when I was posting something. In the past, I could post all of my events all the time, and now they're getting a little bit trickier. So it depends on the Facebook group. There are some Facebook groups that are like buy, sell, trade, anything you want page, and some are not. Okay, Cheryl says, I am in Canada. Having pre-printed canvases would be costly. What is an option? I believe you mentioned using carbon paper. How do I print the size of the canvas? Cheryl, great question. Okay, until Julie started doing sublimation, Bobby was in charge of all the carbon paper and all the tracing. So he would just put on a show and he would just trace until his heart was content. And so now he is so happy when I order from Julie. Carbon paper is an easy way. And then if you want to make it look a little bit better, you can go over it with a Sharpie. So don't let something like, well, I can't sublimate, because until about 4 months ago, we have only done carbon paper. That's it, like traced it. So don't let things like that stop you, because I'm telling you, we will let anything stop us if we can. So just be cautious with that. So yeah, just get some carbon paper. And then the coolest part is all those designs you saw, which there's more than even that, we have tracers ready to go. So you just have to go print them, and then they come out, and then you tape them together and then trace them, which is really cool. Lookbook. Yes, Denise. So this lookbook right here, you get this inside Paint Party headquarters. This has been a game changer. If you only use Paint Party headquarters just for this, it's going to be worth it, because we have it set up to where you can put your information in here. And we also have an edited version, so you can edit the whole thing. What we have is we have had it designed, not by me, because I'm not good at that. We've had it designed by season, okay? So it has all of these paintings. So we try every quarter to update the paintings based on new stuff, because we're constantly bringing in new stuff. So when you go inside Paint Party headquarters and you pull up the lookbook, you can be certain that if you print that thing out, that every painting in there has all the bells and whistles. So you have the marketing flyers, you have the Facebook flyer, you have every single thing that could go with that. So we made it that way on purpose so that you could feel confident taking this to an event and somebody saying, yes, I want to book this party with this painting, and then you have access to that. So we were very, very, very intentional about that. Okay, all right, the next question. Terry says, Terry Walters, I think I'm saying that right. She says, my issue is venues. I would love to have my own building, but can't afford that. Don't do that. No business in our areas have even acted slightly interested. How do you get them interested, and how do I go up against the others in town with their own building? Sorry for the run-on sentence. Oh, that's okay. Terry, I do run-on. This whole thing's been a run-on sentence. Okay, so I choose to be mobile, okay? Really be very, very like, here's what I tell people about a brick and mortar. You can have a brick and mortar, but what I recommend is be mobile first, stack that money away. So if you know you got to pay $1,000 in rent, go ahead and put that $1,000 away every single month for 6 to 8 months and see if you still want the brick and mortar, because there are a lot of responsibilities with that. Now, if you find that nobody is wanting your business in that area, or they're not acting interested, here's the real truth, y'all. I just say it like this, and you can love me or hate me for it. Again, we have a magic script, so it helps so much if you use the script I tell you to, and you do how I train you to do this. You can actually get a lot of parties. That's the easier part. However, I prepare everyone to hear 9 no's for 1 yes. Just prepare your soul. Prepare yourself that when you're an entrepreneur, it's not for the weak, okay? We get our feelings hurt. We're artists, we're emotional, we're empathetic, right? Like, we get our feelings hurt. But once you've heard no so many times, it just rolls off. Like, it doesn't even matter anymore. And the great thing about with the magic script is you don't get your feelings hurt that much, because the way I teach you to do it, it doesn't bruise you as much as if you're going up to somebody and somebody's saying no. So don't worry too much about that. How do you find that craft paint has enough coverage? So you do not need like really expensive paints. This is the Deco Art Americana. And so you don't need these expensive, acrylic paints. Again, I'm charging $35, and this is not a hardcore art class. It's a totally different thing. Karen asked, how do you know how much paint you will need per painting and then calculate how much per group? I remember teaching a Christmas angel at this adorable girl's birthday party, and the angel, we designed the painting together, and she ended up having a red dress on the angel, and I forgot red paint. Legit forgot red paint. And I was in the country and was like, this sucks. This is her birthday. It's a Christmas angel. And I just felt like crap. I didn't want the parents to know, and I did not have time to run to Michael's. It was like 30 minutes away. So I look at that sweet little girl on her birthday, and I'm like, hey, I know you're an artist. Do you have any red paint in your craft room? And she's like, yeah. She like ran in, grabbed some red paint, and I was like, then I told them all. But I was just like, what? How could I forget red paint on a Christmas painting? Oh my gosh, it was awful. But basically, if you know you need, 1 bottle for every 3 people and you have 10 people, bring 5 bottles. Always bring a few extra, always. I said this in a Facebook post the other day, and I hope it did not hurt their feelings, but please write this down. Somebody told me this about 10 years ago, and I am so grateful I learned, not even 10 years ago, probably about 6 years ago. 6 years ago. She said, don't trip over pennies to make dollars. Okay. I really want you to hear me on that. I'm going to say it again for you in the back. Don't trip over pennies to make dollars. So if you're worried about, this much paint being wasted, I mean, sometimes, and I know some of you are going to cringe right now, but sometimes there will be a whole plate of paint that just gets thrown in the trash. I've had to accept that in order to move forward and keep teaching paint parties. If I'm spending all my time scraping paint, and I know that's wasteful and I get it. And I know, some of our spirits are like, I can't take that. But I kind of just came to, that's a part of doing business. Sometimes restaurants cook a lot of food right before closing, and they either send it home with employees or it gets thrown out, or they take it to shelter or whatever. So you just got to know that's part of doing business, and don't trip over pennies to make dollars. Seriously, it will stop you and you won't make any money. Haiti says, how can I start my painting business? I'm excited to learn from you and others on how to market myself and be successful while having fun. Okay, so Haiti and everyone, I challenge you to not look at it as starting a whole business, right? That is a lot of pressure. I look at it as do a guinea pig party. That's it. Okay. So my sister, she is, oh my gosh, she's really good at paint pours. She just sent me these as presents, which I am obsessed with. And I have another one over there that she did for me. She actually did it as a present. I wrote a book a few months ago, and she wanted to give me a gift. And so she made me a present in the colors of my book, and I was so excited about it. But she is so talented at it. And she's asking me all of these things about starting a paint party business. And so I'm telling her, she wants to know this and a logo and this. And I'm like, Nika, no, you just got to send the magic script. That's it. Nothing else. So really, let's try not to start about it, think about it as a whole business. If I would have thought about everything I had to do, 17 years ago to now, my head would explode, but if you just take one step at a time, it's so much easier. So can everybody pinky promise one step at a time? Put it in the chat if you pinky promise one step at a time. Okay, Donna, you got it, dude. Okay, good. Good. Pinky promise, because if not, you're going to burn yourself out. You're going to freak out, all of that stuff. And I really, really don't want you to do that, because man, if you can harness the power of paint parties and actually do this, it is so profitable. And I just am so excited to see what you do. Okay, so Daryl says, I'm excited to learn how to do online paint parties and the marketing to succeed. Daryl, okay, so this is what I tell everybody. Okay, all of y'all interested in online, put a 1 in the chat if you're interested in teaching online paint parties. So here's the deal that I tell everybody with online. The quickest way to cash is in-person paint parties. That's the quickest way. You can book a party within 3 weeks, technically already being profitable from that very first party. Because the way I teach it is scrappy. I teach you to be scrappy. I don't teach you to go get a business loan. I don't teach you to go, rack up $10,000 worth of debt and then you can do a paint party. I literally teach you to just buy for that paint party. And so if you watch the way I teach you and do it that way, you're going to have so much confidence because you're going to immediately have a profit from that first party. Now, online parties, do I recommend them? Yes. Okay. But online is a longer path. So I just like to be way upfront and honest that I definitely think you should grow an online business. You should do all of that. And we do have online paint party trainings inside Paint Party headquarters. So we have 3 different module trainings that walk you through all of that. So I definitely want you, to pursue that if that's what you're interested in. But I do want to be very honest that that does take longer. Okay. Sherry Herbert, is it Helpert? I hope I'm saying that right, Sherry. I'm sorry if I'm not. She says, it's those emails. I'm set up for constant contact, but I only have 3 emails. I need all the help to collect the emails to put them in my email constant contact. I know it's also about time management. Thank you, Heidi, for all you do. You're welcome, Sherry. I did have 4 paint parties already. Oh, let's congratulate Sherry on her 4 paint parties. That's awesome. And I've got 2 on the books for April and 2 more inquired for paint parties yet to be confirmed dates. Any help to get emails and get them in constant contact? And then what emails to send out after when I have them in constant contact? Okay, this is what I do at my parties. I literally have them. I mean, and we have pretty sheets for this. This is not professional. This is not the way to do it. But use the sheet that I give you. Okay, there's a beautiful sheet that you can print, but I sometimes, get busy and then I just grab some colored paper and write it up. But when I always keep these, so I make sure to input these into constant contact. From constant contact, then you can send them. Also, Sherry, we have, because I know you're a member, we have that training inside Paint Party headquarters. So post that question and then we will get you the exact training. Another thing, you're getting your emails after you have your party. So people are signing up for your stuff and then you're getting those emails. Now you're starting to build your local audience. Okay. And that is very, very important to build your local audience. And then also make sure after your party, send an email with the group picture to all of these people. And I said, thank you so much for coming. I'm so happy you were here. Here's the group picture. You can find more on Texas Art and Soul. Also, let me know if you're ready to book a party. So that's definitely what you do. Okay, let's see. Desra asks, where do you get your aprons monogrammed at? So I just went to a local person. So I bought my aprons at apronsbythecase.com, which you can also get a monogram through them. But then I've also bought some where I just took them to a local monogrammer. Susan says, can members paint the design alongside you at your party? Perhaps we can pay a fee to be a fly on the wall. Susan, lots of members have come to my parties and I welcome that. So they'll sign up and they actually pay to come and then they tell me they're a member. They're like, hey, I'm a part of Paint Party headquarters. And then, they can hang out with me and paint along and all of that stuff. So yes, I highly recommend that. So if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and you want to come to one of my parties, you could come and be a part of that. Cheryl says, I noticed you use Deco Art paint, but could you use other brands in your paint parties? Yes, Cheryl. I used to use only paint from Walmart, and then I started using the Deco Art Americanas. And honestly, I just really like the coverage better. I know earlier we were talking about coverage. It makes the paintings turn out way better. Carr says, what glitter brand of paint did she grab this morning? So the glitter brand, which I love, is Deco Art Crystal. I used to do all the colors, but now I just do those. Okay. All right. Everybody stand up. We need to take a quick break. Everybody stand. Stretch it out. I see you, Jennifer. See you stretching. Get a moment. Shake off just shake it out. Okay. Deep breath. Whew. Okay. That feels good. All right. All right. We're in it to win it, right? Okay. All right. Let's see. Sherry says, where do you get your ideas for drawing for the paint party? Also, how and where do you find venues for paint parties? Do they take places in stores like Painting with a Twist or in participant homes like Tupperware or Mary Kay parties? I suppose anywhere. So Sherry, okay, you can get inspiration from literally anywhere and everywhere. I mean, there was like a virtual baby shower last night for one of our members that somebody had invited me to. They were showing the wrapping paper and I was like, oh my gosh, like that box and, just so much cuteness. So you can be inspired anywhere. If you're an artist, I know we just look around and we're inspired by everything. And then also we look at what is on trend. So right now, if you walk into a Hobby Lobby, you're going to see mushrooms everywhere. So what am I going to paint? I'm going to paint a mushroom, right? So we try to find what's on trend. That's one of the things that I really pride ourselves on is we really do we try to hear what you're needing in your areas and we really try to stay on trend. Again, we can't do everything perfect, but we really, really, really try for you. And then also we don't teach at Painting with a Twist. That's a franchise. So Painting with a Twist is to get a franchise is like $100,000, I think, to have a franchise. This is not a franchise. This is, you're paying for rights to my designs, but you can use whatever designs you want. You're paying for rights to all my trainings, all my experience, all of the meetings. That's what you're getting. So you can use it and change it and whatever you need to do to make it yours. So you can basically teach anywhere. I've taught in a barn, I've taught in a gym, I've taught on the floor, like anywhere people will allow you to gather is okay. Carla says, do you have a place where you get your supplies at a discount or buying bulk? Yes, Carla. So we do have several wholesalers that we recommend inside Paint Party headquarters, and our brushes and ceramics, things like that. We do recommend those. Oh my gosh, y'all, this is the last question of this set. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, Carol says, how many parties do you have a week? Where do you find the best success in finding people to participate? So Carol, you can have as little or as many as you want. So what you want to do is look at your schedule. If your schedule is, you're working full time, we have so many, and let me know if you're watching and you already work full time. Okay. That was me for many, many years before I quit and did paint parties full time. So I was doing paint parties basically full time while I had a full-time job. So that is what I recommend at first, is just do 1 or 2 a month while you're working your full-time job. Because number one, you have connections. You have people right there that you're talking to all the time. They're seeing you do this. Some of our most successful paint party people are the people that have full-time jobs. And the reason I believe that to be true is because when we are working full-time, we have to schedule our stuff and make it happen. It's either going to happen or it's not going to happen, but we don't have any time to worry about it because we're working full-time. So I say, have 1 or 2 a month if you're working full-time, or just one party a month if you're working full-time. And then you can build from there. I'm never, because of my bankruptcy, I will never, ever be the person that's like, quit your full-time job, everything will be fine. Like, you'll never hear me say that, because I know paint party businesses, and all businesses, not just paint party, all businesses do this. That's entrepreneurship. It's not, and we stay there forever. Like, that's not real life. So if you're, doing this, I highly recommend, until you get your business up to a certain point, you'll know when it's time. And then a lot of people too, they use this as all their extra fun money, or they're paying down debt or whatever it is. And then it doesn't put that pressure. Okay. All right. Let's take a deep breath. And then we're going to the next set. Okay. How's everybody doing? Let me check in. Are we good? Do we need to do jumping jacks? We can if needed. I'm gonna have a glass of wine after all these questions. Deborah's here. Okay, good. Awesome. Yeah, let me know if you're still here. Jennifer, awesome. Lori, good. Okay, good. Okay, all right. And just a quick reminder before I go into the next set of questions. So if you're thinking you want to be a part of Paint Party headquarters, you get all of those bonuses, all of those extras, and then all the different things we have. So we have so much fun stuff. Okay. Kathy says, how to boost self-esteem when you are clueless on how to host a paint party. I'm a beginner at a painting, so I feel like I don't have near the experience needed. Also, is it unprofessional to use tracers? Kathy, definitely not unprofessional. Oh my gosh. When I started using tracers, my paint party people were so relieved. You're teaching a paint party, not a hardcore art lesson. Okay. And then the second part of that, she says, how to boost self-esteem when you're clueless. Just a quick thing. When I first started teaching this, I was a wreck. I mean, I would like handwrite each and every step. It was before we had all the beautiful steps typed for us that I could have just printed. Instead, I was handwriting every single thing. Do this, do this, do this, because I was so scared. And I remember one time I was teaching Starry Night, and I had all of them behind the easel thinking that they were looking at me. They weren't looking at me. I looked up, and every single person was just like terrified. They were at their own canvases. And that's when I realized it's more about me helping them, not being this best artist, standing on a stage, doing everything right. It's more about helping them succeed than helping myself look like a great artist. So we do have all the steps so you can print them. If I forget where I'm at, I'm like standing by somebody's thing, looking at their directions. Oh yeah. Okay, next step is like, because I have it. I have my cheat sheet. I have my notes, right? So you will be nervous at first, and that is okay. I think that means you care. right? If you weren't nervous and you didn't care, like, and then you're going to get better at it. But that's really, Kathy, the best way to grow your self-esteem is taking action through fear. Okay. Lori says, I live in a small town, about 6,000 population, and there is an artist that teaches classes already. She's very popular with adults and children. She teaches all sorts of art classes, not just painting. I'm wondering how sustainable this business would really be here, especially with an established artist already. Next town over is too far to drive to have a paint party. Okay, Lori, so I'm going to challenge you a little bit. Is that okay? Is that okay? I really, truly feel like not every art teacher is for everybody. Just like my personality is not for everybody. Just like your personality is not for everybody. So I can guarantee you that there are probably some people in that town that maybe they want a different style, or maybe they want something, different or new or changed up. I mean, you don't know how long she's going to do this for. You don't know if y'all could end up, being friends, having coffee together. What if she's sick one day and she's had all these classes scheduled? I mean, there are literally people in our group that have, instead of embraced competition, they have embraced friendship, and they literally have like helped each other. If they had to call in sick, hey, can you cover my paint party? So I challenge you to look at it differently. Like I said, there are many other paint party people in my town. Some of my paint party people, because they follow me, everything on Texas Art and Soul is about paint party headquarters. And so I'll have people who've been painting with me and then they become a member. And so I'm like, yeah, okay. And then now, I've trained my competition, but I know that I don't mind sharing because I know there's enough. And then as far as the driving, I don't know how far your drive is, but and maybe this is just my attitude. And again, you can look at it how you want. And I know everybody has their own story and their own belief systems, but I just feel like if there's money out there, just go pick it up. That's how I truly feel. And I have literally had parties. We used to live in Florida, remember? I've literally had parties where I've driven from Texas to South Florida and paid for the whole vacation. Yep, we painted and we worked a little, but it paid for all kinds of stuff. And I drive 2 hours for parties now. I'm about to drive for Junk Gypsy. I think it's 3.5 or 4 hours from my house. I'm not saying do it if you're taking a loss, okay? But if it makes sense for your business, if it makes sense, you want to go visit some family, but we call it traveling paint parties. You want to go visit family, but you really don't have the money to go visit. Well, set up a paint party, help pay your way. So I do parties, anywhere from, an hour to me is, and I'm in Texas, so we drive everywhere. Like an hour is like going, I mean, it takes me 30 minutes to get to the grocery store, so if I want a Starbucks or the grocery store, it's 30 minutes minimum. Like that's just my life. And so to me, that doesn't mean as much. Now, if you live in a city where everything is 2 minutes away, you might think 30 minutes is crazy talk. But to me, that's every day going to the grocery store or wherever, anywhere we need. Okay, Linda Amaya says, I'm close to retirement and just have recently started Facebook. How do you do this business if you're not already on Facebook or have a following and you're not 20 and you're not 20 anymore? Linda, I love that question. Oh my gosh. So the way I teach this is through, okay, so if you don't have a Facebook, you can still use the magic scripts through email. You can use it. You can literally do old school. I have done this more times than I can tell you. You can do old school by sending your lookbook, your flyer, whatever, to all the different churches and ministry within an hour radius. I used to do that every single year. I blocked out an amount of time. I would go to a coffee shop and I would pull up every address and every single thing. And I'd spend $50 in postage. Somebody contacted me back and they're like, hey, let's do a party. It's like $900. Was that $50 worth of postage worth it? Yes, it was. And then I did parties for them for several years. So always remember, there are other ways to do this. And before I knew how to really use Facebook, everything was done through mail or email or whatever, or going to the place. I mean, God forbid we actually talk to real people, right? Like stopping in, hey, how you doing? There's all kinds of ways. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about that, Linda. Rosalind says, are the supply list and step-by-step instructions available for us to use for parties? Yes. And do you teach us how to trace or sublimate the painting outlines, or do we learn that on? No, we teach you all of it. Literally, this is Paint Party headquarters. We teach you everything and give you everything. We try to give you everything we can. We really try to overgive. Like I'm a person who, if I'm doing something, I'm doing it 150%. That's with you. That's with my paint parties. And my team is the same way. They are amazing. They really, really kick butt. They love, love, love to help you. Haiti also asked, how do you handle cancellations and refunds? How do I put it in words if somebody cancels? Well, actually in paper. Also, I am very shy. I want to learn how to overcome that fear, do a live, virtual, and social media parties. Okay, so the first one you asked, anytime people sign up for my paint parties, on the bottom it says no refunds. However, if somebody's sick and, like I usually okay, so last week is a perfect example. We had 12 people sign up for this party. And this was on Saturday, last Saturday. 12 people signed up and 4 people did not show up. Okay. Well, actually, they showed up. It was the husbands, but they ended up going and drinking because it was a distillery. So they were like, we're just going to go over here and drink. So I stacked all their stuff up. I gave them brushes. I gave them all the paint. Like I literally just grabbed the bottles and gave them bottles of paint, the pre-done canvases, all the instructions that we already have for you were just printed, ready to go. And I said, hey, thank you so much. Here's all of your stuff. So I didn't have to give a refund, and it was easy money. I didn't even have to teach them. I just gave them their stuff and they took it. And then also, like if somebody's sick, I'll offer them like a credit to the next class, or I'll say, if they really want a refund, I'm not a monster. I'm going to give a refund. So that, I mean, some people have a very strict no refund policy, but it depends on the situation. Again, that's why you can be a great company. And again, that's what's going to make you stand apart. And that's what's going to make people keep coming back to you and back to you because you actually care about them and not just about the profit. Oh, in the part where she says, I'm very shy and I want to learn how to overcome that fear, do a live virtual. Okay. How many of you are introverts? Just put a 1 if you're an introvert. And if you're an extrovert, put a 2. Okay, lots of 1s. Okay, Tammy 2, and Jennifer 1.5. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, so y'all, I know this sounds crazy, but I'm kind of like Jennifer. I'm kind of like a half and half. I can be extroverted when I need to, but oh my gosh. I don't know if y'all do, but there's a lot of voices in my head going on at all times of the day and night. So I have to have my time alone. Bobby asked a question this morning. I hadn't even had a sip of coffee. And I just said, I love you, but I have not had one drink of coffee. Like, can you give me a minute? I need my time. I need my alone time. You don't have to be this overly bubbly person to do this. I know like my personality comes out that way because I can be extroverted when it's game time and when people start showing up. We make it happen and you can make it happen too. And that's why I love paint parties so much, is because it gets you out of your head and you make it happen. Okay. Get you out of your head. It's almost like a mental vacation. And I want you to write that down. If you're taking notes, mental vacation. I'm telling you, you saw that picture of me at that paint party. I am happy. I am in my go zone. Like it is awesome. And there's nothing better than that feeling. And plus you're making great money. Like it's not like chump change. It's great money when you do it. All right. So Debbie says, do you ever send all your pictures to the host of your party? Debbie, all the time. All the time. A lot of times I do it while I'm teaching. I'll be taking pictures throughout. And if, one of my hosts, she's on Facebook Messenger. And so I'll just send her a ton of them. Tammy asked, what do you charge for online versus in-person paint party? Okay, so like, for example, the picture you saw with all the pumpkins, the online party I did for them, that one I charged $350 for the hour. So it was for a company. So a company found me on YouTube, reached out to me, and then I said, yep, this is my rate. Then guess what I did? I sent them the supply list that's already done. I sent them the step-by-step instructions that's already done. I sent them the tracers, which they did not use. So some of the pumpkins look like apples, but that's okay. And so all of it's ready to go. And then I said, here's my rate. And then they hired me and then they paid me. Where do you buy your brushes? Okay, so we have a great wholesaler inside Paint Party headquarters. If you are not a part of it, I go to Amazon. You can get them really cheap there too. Okay, do you cancel the paint party if the number who have signed up are not enough, like less than 10 people? And do you refund the money that they have already paid? So yes, so if the party, so one time I had a party of 4 people, it was right across the street, and I just literally was like, okay, I can do this. It's right across the street. I've already gotten everything ready, and it's still 35 times 4. Like that's still a lot of money for a couple hours work. So I did it, and I'm so thankful I did, because that led to a private party, which led to them coming to my monthly restaurant. I mean, it just led to a lot of other money. So do not, I repeat, do not discount small parties. Okay. Do not discount them. However, if it is like, if you're like go, 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 and it doesn't meet your minimum, which I've had many parties that did not meet my minimum and it was not going to happen, I make sure to cancel. And those times I definitely refund. I feel like when you're canceling, you should honor that and refund. So that's one of the reasons why I tell you never to spend your money until your party's done. Only spend enough money to get your supplies, and then save the rest of the money until your party's done. And do you know how I learned that lesson? Does anybody know? Anybody want to guess? I spent my money before the party happened, and then we had to cancel the party, and I had to figure out where to get that money. Yes, Desiree, trial and error. So I can tell you, I have made every single mistake in the book and still make them to this day. So I am your guinea pig, so to speak. Are the tracers in different sizes? Yes. So the tracers are in 3 sizes. Diane asked, when doing a party at a restaurant, do you add a fee to include a food or drink? For example, do you add $5 to your normal paint night price to include a drink? Or do you just have people purchase whatever they want from the venue? Do you find that restaurants want prepaid, guaranteed amounts, or do they trust that the guests will purchase food and drinks? Okay, so we have, again, there's over 3,000 PPHQ people. So a lot of people do things different ways. We have some that have great results with charging 40 and they take 30 and the venue takes 10 and gives them a free glass of wine, for example. We have some that, do none of that. Like I try. So we have the one that's coming up with Junk Gypsy. It's 35 a person and they're given a free glass of champagne. I'm not given that. They are. And I'm going to take 30 and they're taking 5 per person. So it depends on the venue. I can't say this is an exact science because sometimes things, will be a different way, but just be willing to be flexible. What I do caution you is don't make it so cheap that you get a crowd that will only order water and not tip the waitresses. Because again, the whole reason for the partnership, like I make sure to email them ahead of time and say, come hungry, come early, all of that stuff. Okay. Debbie says, sorry, I have a lot of questions. That's okay. And remember, for those of you coming with us in Paint Party headquarters, I'm not going anywhere. I'm running the meetings. I'm at the meetings, I'm at the Q&A every month. I, try to pop in and answer questions. We have a whole team called the Guardians at Paint Party headquarters, that their job is to go through and do that. So I want to make sure that you are taken care of. So the Guardians literally answer your question and then they give you a training that leads to me talking about the answer to that question. What seems to be the best time to have a party? What's the best size of canvas? If somebody doesn't show up for a class, but prepay, do you refund? Okay, so great questions. I usually do my parties anywhere from like 6 to 8, 6 to 8:30, but I also have a party I do at 2 p.m. all the time. And so it depends on the area. I do recommend don't doing them on Sundays. I do not have luck at all on Sundays. My canvas preference is 12 by 16. I used to do all 16 by 20 and then kids 11 by 14. I've found that the 12 by 16 has been a really great size. And then I'll do 11 by 14 for kids. Okay, can you break down the cost versus the profit? Yes. So we just talked about that, Coleman, and whenever I was showing y'all the slides. But basically, if you're doing 35 a person, I usually say like $6 to take off for supplies, depending on how much you're spending on stuff, but usually it rounds out to about $29 profit per person. Debbie says, is a business license needed? When I started this, I was just doing parties. And then I was like, oh, this is really kicking in. Like, this is really making money. I better do something about this. So then I went and got a DBA, which is doing business as. It's like 20, 25 bucks at your county clerk's office. Carol asked, how often do people contact you and how often do you post your own? I gave people contact, but it's sporadic. So Carol, here's how I do it. I look at my calendar. If I want more events, then I go to the magic script. That's what I do. I follow my own advice. So if I'm needing an event, if I have something coming up and, Pixie, she talked about her tooth the other day, it's going to cost $8,000 to get that girl a tooth. It's insane. We have to do more orthodontics. We have to do all this stuff. It's taken a year long. Poor girl. It's been without a tooth all this time. So yeah, that's $8,000. I got to come up with $8,000. So I'm like, dang it. So yeah. So if I need more money coming in, I'll look at my calendar and then I start doing the magic script. So that's what I recommend is you do that, you book your parties, and then once you get one or two booked, then switch your focus to all butts in the seat. Okay. And we have many trainings on that. Kira asked, will we learn about email marketing? I'm confused on the process of it. Yeah. So we touch on what to email to your paint party people. So I recommend emailing at least once a week, even if it's just, hey, check this out, or, oh, I'm so happy you're here. Here's upcoming events, all of that kind of stuff. Yes, we do talk about that. Lori, is it okay to host parties in your home? It is okay. Some people do that. Debbie's a great example. She has her garage set up as an art studio. I personally don't like it just because I would rather have the mobility. Plus, I've had people in my art studio and I just don't like sharing. I don't like sharing my art studio. And so I choose not to do it at my home. However, I have in the past. So yes, it is an option. It's just up to you. It's up to you how you want to run this. Again, that's the goodness of this too, is you can run it however you want. All right, Lori says, what did your first paint parties look like? I don't have the funds to invest in anything like a light, easily apron. Okay, so Lori, again, don't worry about that stuff. For I think 2 years, I had no easels, no aprons. Okay. I didn't even have Amazon apron. That was before Amazon was a thing. So don't worry about that stuff. Okay. I really want you to not let that stuff get you. What you do is the magic script, get a party booked. Once you get a couple of prepays, use that money to buy the paint you need and the brushes you need just for that party. Okay. One step at a time. All right. We keep it simple. Okay. All right. Let's take another deep breath and a quick stretch break. All right. Get up. Stretch it out. We're almost there, y'all. We're almost there. We almost got all these questions. I see y'all. Okay. Y'all may think I'm weird, but it helps. It really does help. All right. Let's see. We have Eunice. She says PPH PPHQ is equal to getting a master's degree, and paint parties and resources are outstanding. Your group members are even a bigger resource. Oh, thank you for saying that. That's so sweet. All right. Kiara says, do the discount paint codes work in stores? Well, oh, only online. Desra says, how do you get people on the weekdays? Oh my gosh. Some of my biggest paint parties are on like Mondays or Wednesdays. I'm telling you, like that's because the weekends we're all busy with family stuff. But man, you can get out for a girls' night on a Thursday night or something. Like those are moneymaker days. Desra also asked, how far in advance do you post events or let people know you're having an event? I like to do 3 weeks in advance. That's kind of my minimum, 3 weeks. Cindy says, if we do the pay per month, do you have a back-to-back monthly payments, not missing a month, in order to still be a part of it? So Cindy, what we're trying to do is we're shutting the doors, and then usually in August, we'll do like what we call it a fall ball. But I want you to be prepared. Like this is so important. Be ready. Like there's spring parties are happening. Mother's Day parties are happening. You can still get in on all that. You can still get in on summer stuff. But hear me. If you can learn and be ready for fall, it is life-changing, okay? It is amazing. It is so much fun and it is so profitable. So Cindy, we're not trying to have people just come and go like that. I hope that makes sense. And then also just a heads up, it's, when you join Paint Party headquarters, you have rights to all of my stuff right away. So like you can immediately grab a picture of one of my paintings and use that to send with the magic script, which saves you time. So if okay, I know I can paint this or at least learn how before my party's there. You know how many times we've had like a guest artist and I booked a party with their painting and I hadn't even painted it yet. I wait till the party's gonna make and I start getting some prepays. Then I'm like, oh crap, the party's Saturday. I better get this painted. And that's kind of the power of this because it's gonna save you time and money for that. So yeah, so you'll have access to it. So my main thing I want to tell you is if you cancel Paint Party headquarters, then it's not like you have access to everything I offered up until that date. No, I just ask that you respectfully don't keep using my stuff to make money with it. Okay. I think that's kind of a fair deal. It's kind of like the YMCA. If you quit, you're not taking the treadmill with you and using it at home or their classes, right? So I just want to make sure you're respectful of that. So as long as you remember, you're totally fine to use whatever. Do you have paint parties for kids? Yes. Not only do we have paintings for kids, we also have tons of tracers, hundreds of tracers that you can use for kids parties or to add or to make other things. We try to give you so much stuff. We don't want to overwhelm you, but we also know as an artist, as a paint party business owner myself, we need options. So we really try to have that for you. All right, April Stokes says, where do you get the easels for your parties? I get mine at Michael's, but they have some really cheap ones on Amazon. Mogan says, if only 1 to 2 people sign up for the paint party, should we start or cancel it? It's up to you. So there's this saying, do you have more time or more money and less time, right? So if you have more time, I would teach it just because you have the time and it's good practice. But if you're like, I'm running a full-time job and I need at least, 6 people to make this worth it, then I would cancel it. Dion says, if somebody hosts a party, do you give them a free painting for themselves? Yes. So Dion, I often will let the host paint for free, often. If you have a party at a restaurant, do you add a fee to include 1 free drink to guarantee income for the venue, or do you just have people buy if they want something? So again, like we talked about earlier, making sure you are doing a good job of emailing and saying, come early, make sure you grab this, all of that kind of stuff, right? It's our responsibility to make sure that they're having fun, coming early, buying food so that you can go back and be a part of that venue. Y'all, we are almost done. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of us. Okay. All right. Arsina, hopefully. Do you teach how to set up and market art kits? Yes. So we have trainings on art kits inside of Paint Party headquarters. Yes. Victoria says, how early do you arrive for setup? And does the venue always provide tables and chairs? Victoria, double, triple check that there are tables and chairs. Double, triple check that the tables and chairs have been set out. Also, I never have a problem if I need to set them out, but I always kind of ask, hey, are these going to be ready? We have a big party on Saturday. This is an event where I've shown up. I always show up super early because I've had bad experiences. But I always show up really early, and I'm so thankful I did because none of the chairs and tables were set out. And thankfully, Bobby was with me because we had to quickly get everything out. So always double check that. I do not recommend bringing your own. Just, nope, you got to have tables and chairs ready. So if it's a party of 10, I usually get there an hour and 15 minutes early, which is way early. But I am one of those people, I would rather have it beautiful, ready to go, sit around and go to a coffee store or whatever, and then come back versus not be ready. I've had moments of both, and I just prefer being way over early. All right, Bridget says, do you send brushes home with them or collect them for the next party? So I always keep my brushes unless it's a kit that I'm sending home. Then I'll send it with them. All right, we just have a few more. Oh my gosh, y'all are hanging in there. Good job. Okay, Lynn says, for kids' parties, do you require a parent to be present? And no, I don't. So they'll drop them off, and then I say, hey, I have your kid for the next hour. You can either stay and hang out, or if you want to go run some errands, we'll be done right at noon. I always tell them when we'll be done so they don't show up late. And usually my parties for kids last about an hour and 10 minutes, but I try to like have it to where they show up right there at the end. So they're seeing the group picture, all that fun stuff. Let's see, Denise says, does your paint party business book come with the membership? Yes. So the lookbook, everyone inside Paint Party headquarters right now has access to download this, to change it, to edit it, to make it whatever you want. So if you don't like my paintings, but you have your own and you want my trainings and you want my expertise on that and you want the community, but you don't really care how I paint, then you can change this out. Also remember, like, I don't like barn quilts. Like, I'm just gonna say it. I don't like gnomes. I just don't. I know it's bad for me to say, but gnomes sell. So guess what? I like gnomes. I like barn quilts because they sell. So sometimes something that you might not love doesn't mean it's not going to sell. So you have to be ready for that too. Oh, and let us know if you're a Paint Party headquarter member already. Do hashtag PPHQ. I would love to see you. Debbie says, how do you get the customers to leave? Because there's always those that want to stay and talk. Okay, I love this question because I have a party that I do almost every month. And I have been doing it for years. Okay. And there's been this certain group of people that have been coming to this party before COVID. I mean, we've been doing this party since 2018. We were doing it at a restaurant for a while, and then like the same group kind of follows, wherever. Now we're doing it at the American Legion, and I love this group of girls. And one of the girls, we always make a joke because she always is the last person, and her name's Megan. And I utilize this as time to get to know Megan. I really do. And so I always say, hey, Megan, I'm going to be cleaning up, but take your time, because everybody's gone and she's still adding finishing touches. So that's how I run it. Not everybody is going to be that way, and that's totally fine. You don't have to run parties like I do. Okay. A lot of times I start to say, it's almost 8 o'clock. All right, we're doing the group picture in 10 minutes. If you're not done, you can go back and finish painting. And then we literally start cleaning up while they're working. I just leave their stuff on the table and pick up around them. I just really think it's important to, like, customer service is huge for me. I don't know if you can see that, but we are so big on customer service. There's this book called The Carpenter. If you've read it, let me know in the comments, but I've recommended it to Paint Party headquarters. And the reason why I feel like it's so important for you to read is because it talks about how if you just take care of your paint party people, I mean, he's not running a paint party business, but you know what I mean? If you take care of your customers, they're going to be lining up. They're going to come back. And I truly feel like that. And my whole team's that way too. We feel like if we really do a good job taking care of you and trying to get you what you need and what you want, and we take it very, very seriously, we just really want to help you. I mean, if you're, not making money, we're not doing our job right. So our job is to help you make money. That's literally what my role is to give you paintings that make you a profit. So a lot of times people will be like, well, I need to grab it and paint it myself first. I'm like, no, book the party, get prepays, like utilize my images to do that. So you can start bringing in money, and then you can see how impactful that is. Also, let us know if you have joined. If you have joined, let me know. I'd love to welcome you this week. And then if you have any other questions, like, let me know. You'll get the bonuses, and then we're closing the doors. If you want to be a part of this, be ahead, ready to learn, to do all of that. I remember watching the Tipsy Artist and literally on her YouTube videos, pausing so I could see where she set brushes. So I could see, what her canvases were, what her easels, like literally just like watching her videos over and over again. And I so wish if Tipsy Artist would have been like, here's what you do, I would have been like, oh, thank you so much. It would have saved so much time. So if you want to continue this, I would love to have you inside Paint Party headquarters. And I just hope so much that regardless if this is where we part ways, I want you to have tons of success, because I truly feel like we don't have to be starving artists. We can all have some of the business, and we can all support each other and have this great place for that. So I hope that you'll join us in Paint Party headquarters and let us know if you have any other questions. All right, y'all. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys. Thanks for being a part of it. It was fun.